Alright people, I've officially had my moray eel for 3 months now and she is completely happy and healthy, so I thought to myself, let me do a complete care guide, based on my experience with my moray eel, and let's just start. Now people, it's important to remember that every single eel is different, so everything I'm mentioning today is just simply what worked for me, but at the same time it should work out for you, but I'm just mentioning it just in case, innit? Now if you want to get your own freshwater moray eel that you can feed with your hand and all of that, then you actually need to prepare your tank first, and there's 3 main things you want to do which will really help you with keeping your eel. Now the very first thing is something very important. You want to have loads and loads of hiding spots, loads of different caves. I've got like 3-4 different caves in my tank, and the thing is people, once your eel gets comfortable and relaxed, it will come out, so you will see it plenty of times, but at the start it will be very nervous. Eels are very intelligent and they know what's going on, so when you're moving them from the store to your new fish tank, it's a very stressful experience for them, so make sure you have loads of hiding spots for them, so for the first month or 2 they can hide in that, and then once they're comfortable they will come out and swim about. Like I already mentioned, I've had mine for 3 months and she swims about everywhere, but I did just feed her, so she's gone into her cave to just relax now. Now the other very important thing that you need to prepare for your fish tank before you even get your moray eel is you want to make sure that you have a lid. People, eels, they will jump and they are escape artists, so have a tight fitting lid. Also, any holes or gaps like the ones where the cables come out and stuff like that, you do want to block them off, and I do have a video where I tell you how to block these off. I will leave a link in the description or in the comments, and yeah, just make sure you check that out. But long story short, you can use things like sponges and stuff to kind of block off all the little holes in that. Now those are the very important things. Now a bonus thing that you can do for your fish tank to get it ready for a moray eel is upgrade your lighting. People, you gotta understand, moray eels are nocturnal animals, and even though once they get comfortable they will come out during the day, you can actually help that with the proper lighting. Now if you're like me and you've got a Fluval Roma 200 and you have the normal lighting that it came with, it was a very static light. You can have it on the timer but then it will just turn on and off, but with nocturnal fish you kind of want something that will gradually turn on and off throughout the day, that you can control with how much strength comes out of it and things like that. So for me personally, I got the Aquasky 2.0. I've made a whole video on reviewing it and all of that. I'll leave another link in the description if you want to check that video out where I dive into detail on that. But long story short, this light is set on a schedule, so at some point during the day or in the morning it turns on gradually over 2 hours or an hour and a half I think, and during that time my eel comes out, feels very comfortable, and then during the day for about 6 hours it's on full brightness where you can see all the fish in all of their glory, and then in the evening it has another 2 hours where it slowly starts dimming, and that natural light cycle is just much more comfortable for your eel, and it will get it much more comfortable a lot faster, because like we mentioned at the start, eels at the very start do get very nervous and it might even stop them from eating, which actually takes us to the next step, which is going to the store to buy your moray eel. But before you actually buy that moray eel from the store, you want to ask one important question, and that is, what do they feed that eel if it's actually eating at all? You see, like I mentioned before, moray eels can get very stressful, and if that store just got their moray eels like maybe 2-3 days ago, they might not even be eating yet, so you might want to wait for a day or 2 so you can let the fish store do the work for you whilst they're trying to figure out what the eel would eat. Now in the case where the fish store already had the eels for a while, they should be easily able to tell you what they feed those eels, and make sure you take notes people, because like I said, when you first bring that eel home it will be nervous and he probably won't eat for the first few days. So knowing what they usually eat, at least you will know what to start with, so you can try to feed them every single day until they're obviously comfortable enough to start eating. This is where the caves and the lighting comes in as well people. Once again, to make them as comfortable as possible, if you have a dimming light that's just very natural and you have loads of hiding spaces, then the eel will get much more comfortable a lot faster and you'll be able to feed it much quicker. Now another thing I should mention, if you did invest in a better light where you could manually dim it and that, I would suggest at the start when you're trying to feed the eel to dim the lights. However, once the eel starts eating, you do want to gradually turn the lights back up, and there's a reason for that. You see, once again, eels are very intelligent creatures and they will get used to the schedule that you give them, meaning if you're going to feed them during the day, they will become active during the day. You see, the thing is, if you just feed them before you go to bed at night time, that means they're only going to come out at night and you're never going to see them really. And yeah, so just as a quick recap, the main things really that you want to think about is loads of hiding spots, spots so they can get comfortable easily. An optional light upgrade if you really want to make them feel comfortable a lot faster. Make sure you have a tight fitting lid so they can't escape, and of course make sure you know the food that they like so you can feed them much easier. Now, one of the amazing things with tiger moray eels, you can actually feed them with your hand if you teach them the right way, and if you want to learn how to do that, then click right here.